So today we here CT African Link. We'll be talking about relationship. But before then, I would like my people here to introduce themselves. Okay.
Hi, I'm Yalii, and this is Jay. I personally am an author. I'm a poet. I'm also an artist. Jay.
Yeah, so as you said, I am Jay. I'm a financial controller. I also work in real estate. I work in cryptocurrencies as well. So I am a man of multiple hats.
Okay. So before we start anything, right? I would like to know your take on what relationship is.
Ooh, that's a spicy
Right.
question.
Yeah, sure. I love it.
I'm gonna let Jay take over this one, and then I'm gonna bounce off of him. So I need him to take care of this first, and then we're gonna do that.
Great. When I hear the word relationship, a couple of things come to my mind. Commitment is one of those. Loyalty is one of those. Trust is one of those. I think you cannot build a relationship that is strong on without any of these factors. So those are very important things. But apart from the good side, there's also the bad side. So commitment.
Okay, so when you say commitment, and in a relationship, when we think about the dichotomy of the relationship, are you saying like a marriage or a friendship? Because relationships comes in so many different ships. It comes in mothership, sonship, husbandship, cousinship, and friendship, and so many different ships. So when you think about the dichotomy of those, what makes you choose commitment as the foundation of that?
Yeah, in any of those, even with friends, families, spouses, you can't be without commitment. Commitment is on different levels. So if you are my friend, my commitment to you will be on friendship level. If you are my spouse, my commitment will be on a different level. So I see commitment as something that can be upgraded depending upon the circumstances. But I felt that commitment is stable in all of those.
Okay.
Okay, so Yali, you didn't give me your take on relationships.
Okay.
What's your take on relationships?
So again, my take on relationships is still it has a dichotomy on those things. There are certain things in that area where it's compartmental, and again, it goes to husband, child, friend, mother, and so many different brackets. And when you do those brackets, every last one of those have different spaces. You can't just meld them all together because that just does not work. So relationships, depending on what the status of that is, that's how you do a relationship. So if he and I were cousins, he'd expect certain things from me.
Yeah.
If I was his wife, he'd expect certain things from me.
Yeah.
But let me add a little bit of spice to it.
Great.
If he was married and I was a friend on the side,
A friend on the side?
Is it possible that men and women can be friends without the intimacy?
I think so.
How?
It's just as we are friends with other people. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It doesn't have to be something that is intimate. It doesn't have to be anything that is romantic. Relationship comes in different forms. You can have relationship with your parents, with your children, and with your colleagues. That is relationship.
That is true.
Yeah.
But when you think about those relationships, those come with automatic boundaries.
Yep.
But when you go to a man and a female in relationships, that's kind of hard to steer into that line to say like,
I agree with you.
Okay, so how could we be just friends and not have that intimacy that's in there, or that what we like to say is, I don't want to say it badly, but it's in a show. It's a penis or a vagina in a fire case and break in case of emergency, because you don't look at me as just your friend. Because how many female friends do you have? You possibly looking at me like there's an opportunity and you're probably waiting. Is that a factor?
Well, that could be a factor, but I also believe that a lot of people don't see it that way. Are you saying that if you have a child, you cannot have a relationship with your child without that intimacy? The answer is no. So I still believe that relationship is, as long as you're a human being and you live in a community and an environment, you are going to be bound with relationship, with your surrounding.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Relationships, again, that's what I said in the beginning. Relationships have this dichotomy. It's a separate compartmental I can't even talk. Let me say it a different way.
All right.
It is in different compartments. So when you do relationships and it's in different compartments, mother to son, mother to daughter, brother to sister, grandmother, those are different. And they all hold their different standards.
I agree with you.
And those boundaries.
Yes.
But then when it comes to relationships, how do we lose respect in those relationships?
Well, that is when those factors are not being adhered to. Let's say in a relationship, you should definitely have boundaries. You should have that. You should set those things from the beginning of the relationship. And each and every one of you should have commitment to those boundaries. And that is why I mentioned commitment. Whether you're a child, a daughter, or whatever it is, there should be a commitment at whatever level of relationship you are holding. You should have accountability. And with that commitment, there will be no accountability.
Okay, so when you say accountability, how do you hold accountability to a person that's just your friend? Because what I've noticed is that people do this. They take you and they say, this is what I like. And then they tell you what they like and expect you to love them in those same like standards. So how do you say, I'm going to commit to love you when you're a toxic person and you're just in here just to receive all that I have as far as love is concerned? I'm not concerned with the monetary half of it, but how do you say that this is just a commitment to our friendship, a commitment to our ship that we're sailing in on our journey? Because commitments, they're just people change, and commitments, are they supposed to stay the same?
And so people like that, if circumstances could just change the commitments you've made in the past, that for me is something that I really have to pay attention to, because as a person, I'm a man of my word, right? So if I say I am going to do something, I try my best to get it done. It doesn't mean I'll get it done all the time, but if it is not done, there are so many things I can do to let the other person know. Commitment. Go ahead.
Okay, so moving on. Let's move on from this. Let's move on.
Moving
on to the next question. Right.
This was an interesting one. So
What are the responsibilities of both partners in a relationship? Okay. You know, we spoke about relationship, but it seems we are looking at just relationship in the aspect of a man and a woman. But relationship is broad.
It's broad.
Nobody
It
said
is
anything
very
about
broad.
it. Yeah, but you know, let's move. So, what are the responsibilities? Since we're talking about relationship between men and women, right?
Okay.
What are the responsibilities of both partners in a relationship? I'm gonna start with you first.
Okay. Responsibilities of both people inside of a relationship.
Yeah.
Depending on what type of relationship we're talking about, if we're talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, just dating, or we're talking about friendship, or we're talking about marriage.
Okay, so let's do boyfriend.
Narrow
and
it down.
And
Okay.
And marriage.
All right. So boyfriend and girlfriend. As you know, in many different cultures, you can date or court the person that you're interested in. But as far as anything that goes beyond you getting to know that person, is you can't do anything outside of what you would normally typically do. So when you're dating, you're getting to know me. And somehow down the line, after we're married, you forgot to date me. Because I'm going to continue to change. My outside environments are going to change me. The people I hang with, they're going to change me. Not in a full spectrum of them changing me, but I'm going to adapt to some of the things just to survive.
Yeah.
And I'm going to survive in my environment. But when I think about a man and a woman in a relationship, dating, again, it goes back to that commitment.
Yeah.
But are we on the same page? Are we on the same page of you committing to me like I'm committed to you?
Yeah.
And what am I doing? Am I performing wife duties? Or am I just being your girlfriend because we're in the getting to know each other stages?
Yeah.
Because girlfriend and boyfriend and wife and husband are two different stages.
Yeah. And the
You don't get
responsibilities are
to,
different.
exactly. You don't get to have everything. Because
Yeah.
if I give you everything now, what do I have to offer to you later?
Yep. I agree with you.
I like that. What about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with your point. And every relationship and its own level of expectation. And I strongly believe that as a person, before you decide to go into a relationship, no matter what kind of relationship it is, the first thing you need to do is to examine yourself and ask if you have something to give out. Because I believe that relationships should have mutual interest, because a relationship without that, it's always going to be one person giving, and it gets to a point they get frustrated, and then the relationship breaks. So giving will be on a different level. You might be able to give him money, but I might be able to give you some other form of gift, or I'm good at doing something else and you're good at doing something else. You should be able to identify what you are best good at and see how that is going to influence your partner and make him or her better. And he or her has to do the same over here. And that is what I believe should be the main or basic responsibility, because that is what you can build a relationship on.
Okay. In as much as I like what you say, I don't agree with you.
All right, go ahead.
But moving on to the next question, right? So, men and women, right? Who do you think sacrifice more in a relationship? I know you've both been in a relationship.
Yes.
So who do you think sacrifices?
I mean, for me, it is unfair to think that one gender will sacrifice more in a relationship. I believe that every relationship has its own.
Sure? A lot of men are going to see this.
Oh no, I know, but I am being real. You see, I am being real. In a relationship, two people coming together to form a union at whatever level, the strength and weaknesses can never be the same. So, as I started saying earlier, you could have strength in something else, and I'll have in another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why it is always important that you don't forget that part of it.
That is very true. In relationships, when you start them, you have got to know that where you're leading to, this is going down the road to this.
Yep.
And it's about unconditional love. So it begins more than what I can provide for you and what you can provide for me. Because there's going to be days where I'm not feeling good. You're not feeling good. What happens down the road? So before you get to marry a person, you should automatically imagine to yourself, if this person couldn't walk or talk to tomorrow after we got married, will I still love this person? Will I take care of this person? And if you can't say I can provide unconditional love to that person, then that's not the person you should marry, because there's somebody out there that you're willing to drink their water, drink the bath water that they take, they bathe in, and all the dirt that come off their body. You're willing to drink it. You're willing to sacrifice your life for it. And if you can't find that person and look at that person honestly and say, this is the person that I want to do that for, then that's not the person that you want to even invest time in. Somebody is supposed to fill your cup. Simultaneously, as you fill my cup, I need to fill your cup. And as you said, you can build a house. I can make it a home.
Exactly. So everyone is giving.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be only money.
Yeah.
It could be love.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yeah.
All of those are giving.
Yeah. But we've lost our way inside of society in 2023.
I mean, obviously,
like we've lost our way in 2023. It's like, what can you do for me? I'm gonna grab the bag and he better and she better. No. I shouldn't have to cook for you, and I shouldn't have to do all these things. We should be a couple. We should figure out how to monetize together and survive in this world.
Yeah.
Are you in agreement with me?
I totally agree with you. And I know you wanted to say that. I don't want to guess what you wanted to say, but based on the question you asked initially, you might have been of the opinion that men sacrifice more in a relationship than women. Is that what?
The reason why I came up with this question is because we guys we talk
Yeah,
about, right?
sure, yeah.
And most of the guys I speak to, they feel like today's relationship. Talking of today's relationship. It seems that the women in the relationship have upper hand over the men, because it seems most of the women I talk to, you ask them, oh, so what do you want? They say, I'm enough for you.
Yeah.
You get it? I don't know if you've ever been in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because I talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think so. Talking to some of the friends, I think they're saying the women. It seems they don't really bring anything.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I kind of see where some of the guys might be coming from. Because let's be factual.
Okay.
We do know that a lot of opportunities that women have now to advance themselves, career advancement, career growth, and all those things hasn't been there for many years ago. So men have always had the opportunity to grow. It has gotten to a point where right now it is clear that men are at a disadvantage. And so if we used to provide more or sacrifice more in the past, a time is coming that is changing, because I can see it now. Women are really taking care of men. Some women are taking care of men. If you haven't experienced it yet, it is out there.
Okay.
So it's changing.
You know what? Let me elaborate. I'm going to elaborate on what he just said.
Okay.
It is so true. It's going to go back further than what he said. What happened is that during the war, all the men were taken from the homes, and they had to go out there and they had to fight. Yeah. And then some of the men weren't coming home. So what was I supposed to do with all 5 of our children that we had? Yeah. I had to make a way. Women are good at being silent like children.
Yeah.
Seen and not heard. And that's the way of the man's world. I don't have a problem with being seen and not heard.
Yeah.
But I need you to respect me when I step up to the table.
Yeah, I agree.
Because now that my husband is not here, I am going to take care of all these children, and I'm going to build a legacy for all of us.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to let my children suffer. I understand I'm raising girls and men. And if I'm raising the next generation of men, I need them to understand that $1 is not going to make the difference. Yeah. It is the value of what you're going to bring to the table. Collectively.
But then men also expect to be part of that build-up. You can't do it alone.
No, we definitely can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. Just like we cannot have a child alone.
Yeah.
I need you to have a child.
Yeah.
I need you to raise this child with me. Now, a lot of people don't even, and they might even disagree. A lot of people don't know, but men are more structural than women are.
Really?
Very so. Men can raise a child way better than a woman. We are nurturers. We sit there and coddle, we love, and that's it. And we send out with directions and go, okay, love, love, love. Men say, this is what you do. This is how you walk. This is the way you go. And they create balance in the system. Right. Women, I'm one. So I must say, we're all over the board. Yeah. We don't see black and white like men do. We see purple, yellow, green, and we make stories up for it.
Yeah.
We make stories to make ourselves feel better. But when reality is,
no,
true.
Say that again. I want to hear that again. I thought that was what it was until you said it.
Okay. It really is. We don't see things black and white like men do, because in reality, life should be black and white.
Yeah.
But because there are so many variables in life, it is not black and white. And so we see the not black and white. Y'all see the black and white.
Yeah. So May, I would say, right, in a relationship or in a family setting, right, there is a place for the man and there is a place for the woman.
Absolutely.
we both come together to form a home.
Absolutely.
But it looks like in our society today, it's a bit funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm really surprised you're saying this as a woman.
Yeah.
You should talk to the ladies out there.
Yeah,
You will be surprised with some of the things they say. But let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
So this is a little bit personal, right? Okay. So can you tell us some of the worst experience
Yeah.
you've had in a relationship?
In a relationship?
Yep.
Sure.
I'll let you go.
All right, sure. I can start. I think that was like decades ago. It was many years ago. I remember that was one of my. Actually, she was my first lover. We were in college, and we had to break up. And the only thing I did wrong, as she told me, the only thing I did wrong was that I was loving her too much. And that was a bitter lesson I learned. I didn't understand it then. But after that, I know. Right now, I know. Most women don't really say what they really want.
I don't know if you can explain it.
Yeah, explain that.
Of course.
I need you to elaborate on that one a little further. Let me adjust my earring.
All right,
Hold on.
do all that. But
Go ahead.
it is true. From experience, personal experience, because this is experience, personal, right? From experience, most or a lot of them, or some of them,
Go ahead.
they are really not able to communicate what they're looking for. Just as you said, you guys are not able to see black and white. I believe that also goes into some of those. And I'm not blaming women. As a matter of fact, this afternoon I was talking to a female at home and was saying something, and that came up that men don't understand what some of the things women go through, like your cycles, monthly cycle. And she was telling me that alone can mess up your whole day without anybody doing anything to you. So I get it.
On a hormonal level, yes, that is very true.
So some of those things,
it'll take you to a psychotic level,
Yeah.
depending on who you are and what your DNA is.
Yeah.
When it comes to those cycles,
Yeah.
a female can go from happy to totally angry with no reason.
Yeah.
So don't blame us.
Yeah. So we're not trying
Talk
to.
to God.
We are not talking to.
Talk to God
Exactly.
and talk to your ancestors. Ask your ancestors what's
like
going
that.
on, because I can't even explain it. I remember there's days where I was like happy, came home, and as soon as I walked through the door, I was like, raw. Let's just throw some things around. So I don't even know. So we got to talk to God about that. But go ahead.
So it was weird when she said that, like, I think you love me too much, and I feel I don't have enough love to reciprocate what you're giving, and so you should find somebody who can love you that much. It was insane, but she was serious about it. And then as I went through life, I kind of really got that.
So you think we shouldn't give too much love to women?
No, I'm not saying that. That is her issue. Probably I was doing too much.
But it looks like you've changed. You don't give too much love. Huh?
No, I do. No,
I was gonna say,
I do.
It would behoove you to not let that woman or any other woman that says, "Oh my God, that was too much love," because those are the women who has not dealt with their inner child and those traumatized moments in their life where they have not understood what has bothered me from my past. Maybe my mom didn't hug me. Maybe my father didn't hug me a lot, or they weren't there. Whatever the case was, there is a reason behind every story. So for that particular type of woman, I don't need a lot of love because I'm not used to it. I'm afraid of it because the last time I loved someone, that someone broke me.
Yeah.
And so now I'm fragile and I'm afraid to be vulnerable to you. So it's easier for me to just kick you off to the side.
So that was it.
It's easier for me to kick you off to the side, but then the psychology in it, or the psychosis in it, is that I don't want a good man like you because you know how to love me, you know how to present everything, you know how to make all of it just go away, you know how to carry the weight on your shoulders, and all I have to do is stand next to you. We have learned, some of us women have learned to just go, I'll take the bad guy. The bad guy that cussed me out, yank me by my hair, and say I'm no good. And that's easier because I could just walk away from that.
Yeah, you don't have any standards
I don't
to
have
adhere, because
exactly.
if you come to me, there are standards because I held myself up to setting standards to get to the stage that I've gotten to.
Yeah.
And if you're coming, there are rules and regulations. And you're coming with yours too. I'm not saying I'm the only one giving you. That is why we need to discuss, talk, and then have an understanding. Set boundaries. My boundaries are my rules and regulations. You come with your boundaries. We work together and find an alignment. And they become rules and regulations for the relationship. I'm not supposed to break them, and you are not supposed to break them.
Absolutely.
If you break them, then we break.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If I may ask, I'm still on you.
All right, sure, I'm here.
Because I know she's going to be watching this.
As a matter of fact, 5 years after, she had come back and said, like, look, Jay, I just can't forget about you.
Yeah.
She wanted us to be together. Like, it's real. I know she's going to be watching, so she knows.
And here's why she wanted to come back.
Yeah, because she couldn't find a replacement for me. That is
too.
what she told me.
That is true.
She's looking for somebody who could love her the way I was loving her.
She went to the side that she thought was greener. And when she went over there, she found nothing but weeds. She found nothing but thorns that came with the rose. So every time she pulled up a rose, she got plucked and had to bleed.
Yeah.
And when she bleeded,
Yeah, like that.
she realized, shit, the other rose that I had no thorns. And it came with a fragrance. So oftentimes, we often say, Dad, that over there looks so much better. Yeah. But we got to remember that's the deception of the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So with you.
Yep.
Can you also tell us your worst experience?
I definitely want to hear that.
My worst experience? Oh gosh. Let me try to think about that. My worst experience will probably be with a narcissist, and I know that is almost the rhetoric of 2023 type of comments and commentary. So, but I definitely dealt with a narcissist where the person was not healed. The person could not get past his childhood. His childhood came with many traumas, and I don't know all the traumas because he wasn't comfortable enough to tell me all of his traumas.
Right.
So I became his enemy. So no matter how much love I gave him, no matter how much I gave to him and did for him, I was still an enemy. I was an outsider. So for me, that was like my worst, being an outsider trying to be on the inside.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about getting married and you telling me you shouldn't tell me your information because that's what people do. So when I no longer am Yalii, your wife, your potential wife, and I'm an outsider, now we have a problem.
Yep.
That tells me I can't even jump the broom with you.
That is trust, because if you trust me, I don't know why you want to hold anything from me, especially when I ask. So it means in his mind, he doesn't trust you for whatever reason. It could also be that is not the case. Somebody is just looking for a way out. So that is not a clear cut here, but
I mean, there are so many variables in it. Trust, unhealed, past traumas, just game. Because some people just say whatever they need to say to get in your underwear. And that's on both perspectives.
I agree.
Not only men do it, but females do it too.
I know.
No,
Stop looking at me like that. Stop looking at me like that. This one is on a personal experience. But I think
someone lied to get into your drawers, right?
Okay, I didn't say anything.
She lied. She lied. She said, I love you. You're the greatest.
Okay, so Jay, from the perspective of a man, do you think you need a relationship?
Personally, I think I do. Not because I am expecting someone to come and pay my bills. For me as a person, it will be companionship, somebody to share ideas with, somebody to cry on, somebody to laugh on, somebody that I can also devote myself for, because I know I have a lot of resources, knowledge, skill set that I can share with people. But remember, as we said earlier, relationship at whatever level require certain commitments and efforts. So if I understand correctly, you're talking about a girlfriend. So I will need a girlfriend because I want somebody that I can give to, just as I want to receive as well.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm waiting for you to finish, because like relationships,
Yeah.
as far as girlfriend and even wife, that is not essential to life. That is a compliment to it.
Okay.
That's like eating ice cream
Yep.
without sprinkles. Because I got the ice cream. The ice cream is good. You the ice cream. I'm just sprinkles.
Yes.
I'm just going to add a little color and a little more flavor to it. So you really don't need another person as far as a relationship is concerned. But when you think about a relationship, you should know that you're adding, like you said, you're adding to the person's cup and pouring in rather than taking.
Exactly.
But
it should go both ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both ways. When you do it that way, it is excellent.
Yeah.
But again, if you don't spend the time with yourself alone, you're not going to be good for anybody else.
Exactly.
Because you got to deal with so many other variables of yourself where you're going to develop into a different person. At age 25, you're going to be this person. Age 30, you're going to be this person. And as time progresses, you're going to add on life experiences to who you are, on top of your environment. So that's going to make you a different person.
Yeah.
So when I married you today as Jay, the man who's an entrepreneur who did this and that.
Yeah.
5 years or 10 years from now, you're going to be totally different.
Person, yeah.
You're going to be different. You're probably going to be 5 pounds fatter. And you're probably going to start telling me your food is nasty. It's too much salt in this. What is wrong with this jollof rice? You're going to probably tell me something's wrong. You're missing ginger. So I'm going to be like, you liked it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, because I liked you then. So now it's like, who do I meet now? And is it the real you? Each version that I meet is really you.
Yep.
And if I'm not willing to accept each version of you or not prepared to, then we're not going to make it. So the individual that you decide to marry or decide to be in any type of relationship with, whether it's girlfriend, friendship, or marriage, that person needs to understand that you're going to develop into another person and add on to your greatness rather than staying stagnant, because anything that's stagnant and sits still is dead.
And that is why I'm not married. That's why I'm still single.
So we're looking for a wife for Mr. J.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're almost done, but we've had so many topics, right? So Mr. J, what are your last words to our viewers? We've spoken about relationship. We've had all these things. I mean, what are your last words?
I would say that a relationship these days has become more complicated than it used to be. When I look at my dad or my grandparents, basically because of technology, advancement, all these things are just creating a lot of chaos in our lives. Mobile phones, internet, all those things, it just makes it so difficult. And it's required of us as individuals to understand ourselves, just as my sister said. Understand yourself, know your strengths and your weaknesses. And if you're picking a partner, you're picking a partner that can complement your weaknesses while you give your strength out there. And it's also that person's responsibility to identify your strengths, right? So that is the only thing the last word I'll leave out there.
I like that.
Good. Absolutely.
What about you?
Oh, repeat that question again.
So
yes, a big one.
I wanted your last take to the viewers out there on the relationship and the topics we've touched on.
So as far as relationships are concerned, the best thing is to understand that people are going to constantly change. People are continuously changing. It is a constant thing. Nothing sits and stays the same. As I said earlier to Jay, like if it's stagnant or it sits still, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead in the water.
Yeah.
So you got to understand that people are going to change. The most important thing about a relationship is to understand that if you want to be with someone in a long-term relationship, imagine the worst.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to find out if the person is good for you, understand that they'll be good for you if they stuck around when things were worse for you, when you had nothing, when you were at your sick or you're at weakness.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for someone to join you while you're on the rise up. But when you're down, who's there?
I like that.
I like that.
I've seen that before.
Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. I hope to see you next time on a different topic. And I want you all to go follow us on all social media platforms at CT African Link. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Great. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.